Hey guys, my name is Batumio, and today we have learned some very interesting new details about what DICE has in store for Battlefield 4. The first thing that I know a lot of you will be thrilled about is that DICE has every intention of bringing the CTE version of the game over to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Apparently, the only thing holding it back right now is Microsoft and Sony. This does make sense. They are the gatekeepers to their platforms. They want to make sure that anything that goes up on their consoles isn't going to break anything. But at least right now, from the interview that I saw, DICE has every intention and is pretty much ready to go as soon as they are to bring the CTE version to those systems. I think that that's phenomenal because the more people that we can get playing on the CTE, especially just a wider diversity, because console players play slightly different from the PC crowd. It isn't a vast difference, but to get a wider diversity of the player base, giving their feedback and having their viewpoint, I don't think could ever be a bad thing. And so I'm crossing my fingers that Microsoft and Sony won't clamp down on this and will approve having the CTE version of Battlefield 4 on their systems. They may not, you know, they are the gatekeepers, they're the ones that have the final say, but hopefully this can be something that will be coming to consoles in the future. Another thing that's really interesting is that DICE wants to be promoting more teamwork in Battlefield 4. I have been awaiting these changes because right now we've been on the team play initiative for a couple of weeks now, but there hasn't been many changes to promote teamwork. I mean, there's been a couple here and there, but it's been fairly lackluster. And so an idea that they've been bouncing around and they're thinking about adding on in is the idea of having a bucket that every time you perform a team-based action, you revive a squad mate, you heal them, you give them ammo, you capture an objective, those points will of course be rewarded to you, but by the end of the round, all of those points will have been accumulated into a pool, or what they call a bucket, and if your team wins, you will double the amount of points in that bucket and they will be rewarded to you. Essentially what they want to do here is reward players that are helping out their team get the victory. Right now, if you go for kills, you're completely focused on your kill-death ratio and you're doing whatever you can to just murder the enemy team. They still want, of course, to reward you for that, and of course you are going to be rewarded for a bunch of points for getting the kills, but they really want to focus more on a mix of that. And so if you're going around capturing objectives, you're healing your teammates, but at the same time getting a lot of kills in the process, they want you, by the end of the round, if you are winning, to just dominate the scoreboard. They want to focus on team-placed actions and getting squad mates to work together a little bit more. Personally, I think that this is a great step in the right direction. Not flawless, because if you join a round where you're like 500 tickets down, you don't have really a whole lot of incentive to work with your team. It's like, you know that you're gonna lose. Like, it's pretty much a guaranteed loss on your side. And so if you're not gonna get rewarded double points for doing team-based actions, well, then what's your incentive for going for team-based actions? Like I said, most players hopefully don't have that mentality. Hopefully they go into Battlefield wanting to win 100% of the time, but you know that there are players out there that are almost 100% dedicated to getting as many points as they possibly can. And so I definitely think that it is a great step in the right direction, but with some tweaking, I think that this idea could be improved. One thing that I was not expecting in the slightest is that they admitted that the way that they've balanced out the recon points and the way that they allocate points to snipers is completely counterintuitive to playing the objective. As you guys know, basically in any Battlefield game in the last couple of years, the further you are away from someone and you get a headshot with a bolt-action rifle, the more points that you get. And the results of this mechanic is that it promotes people to go on one side of the map and snipe or try to snipe people on the other side of the map. Sure, it looks cool because you get a kill that rewards like 2,000 points, but you're not helping out your team win. I mean, that's the complete opposite of playing the objective. And so they basically admit that that mechanic really is counterintuitive to this whole team play initiative. The way that they're going to be trying to counterbalance this, one idea that they've had is to reward recons more points for killing people on objectives with a bolt-action rifle. And so you may not be on the point yourself, but as soon as you see 3 or 4 enemies mosey on over to the B capture point, if you snipe them on them, sure, you're only 100 meters away, you're not going to getting a huge sniper bonus, but you'll be getting a bonus because you're killing them on the objective more than if you were playing as the assault class. I think that that would be a great way to handle it. It may not be perfect, may not be a flawless solution, but it would be a better way at getting people to play a little bit more aggressively or to get recons closer to the action. The med bag and the first aid pack are once again going to see some small adjustments in the future. You may have noticed that if you are suppressed and you're near a med bag and you want some healing, you require some health, the med bag won't heal you. You have to wait for 5 seconds until you're out of combat, and then it will start the healing process. A lot of Battlefielders like the idea of it because it reduces the power of the assault class. I think DICE said that like 80% of the players play as assault. Like it was blatantly overpowered. The class is very good in Battlefield 4, and this is one of the ways that they were trying to reduce its effectiveness and have people try out all the other classes, but it was a little bit too much of a change. And so while they haven't nailed down the exact times, I think a lot of people are thinking maybe it will be around 3 seconds. We can expect some small adjustments to the med bag in the future. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and arguably the most exciting news, is that DICE has more in store for Battlefield 4. They haven't gone into what the details are just yet. They will let us know after Battlefest, but they've also said that they've been playing Battlefield 3 recently, but they can't go into details as to why. You guys have probably heard the rumor that they might be doing another DLC pack, another map pack, that will feature some of the fan favorite Battlefield 3 maps. And the fact that they've been playing Battlefield 3 could just be another indication that this actually is in the pipeline. This is pure speculation. Maybe they've been playing Battlefield 3 to test out some of their theories. Maybe they have something else that they have in mind. But the fact that they've been constantly hinting at this DLC, and there is going to be more, they have confirmed that there is going to be more, and they're playing Battlefield 3 and can't talk about it. It's not confirmed, but it is looking very likely that we might be getting some Battlefield 3 maps in the future. The question that I have now, though, is will this future content, whatever it is, cost anything? Because I'm not naive, I realize time is money. EA and DICE, while they're in it to make a good product, they want to create a quality product, at the end of the day, they're all about their bottom line. They want to make a profit. And so since Premium has delivered on all of the promises, on all of the products and content that it was, you know, sold as, like it's already given us all of the maps, it's given us all the DLCs and gadgets and gizmos that are supposed to come with that, will the secret or future content cost money for Premium members? It's hard to say. Like I said, they are in it for the money, but if they created a final DLC that created all the Battlefield 3 maps and gave them free for all Premium members, or just gave them free to the entire community, be like, hey, thanks for sticking with us, that would be a great way to get in the good graces with the Battlefield community. Could also be a good way to be like, hey, we've also got another Battlefield game coming up in a couple of months, you may want to go try that out. And so I'll be interested to learn how they approach the future content and if it will actually cost anything. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's update. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about everything I've talked about today. Do you like the idea of having a pool of points that accumulates at the end of the round, and if you are successful in winning, you will get double the points? Do you like the idea that consoles could be getting the CTE version of Battlefield 4? Let me know down below. But until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.